Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren, und herzlich willkommen zum zweiten Renntag am diesem Wochenende für die erste Runde der Saison 2020 der Wertungslauf Challenge Germany, die hier in der Motorsport Arena E in Muelsen ausgetragen wird. Good morning and welcome to the second round of the first round of the 2020 Wertungslauf Challenge Germany season. First up, we have our first of 12 races, and it is Micromax. Here is your grid for the 9-minute race. On pole position will be the number 12 of Niklas Casarino, with Gabriel Hoffmann in the 95 alongside on the front row. Tom Heger and Noah Janssen will line up on row number 2, with Maximilian Pilch and Alexander Klugel in the 11 and the 80 on row number 3. Maxim Becker and Matthias Schulte in the 55 and the 50, that's row number 4, with Oleg Glan in the 18 and the number 14 of Kenyon Washington rounding out the top 10. Completing the 12-strong grid as they go onto the formation lap will be the 27 of Christos Malakos and the number 13 of Leopold Jouch. So 9 minutes set on the timer, plus an additional lap. Red lights now ignited on the starting gantry for the first of 12 races of competition, a total of 29 races throughout the course of the weekend. Air temperature currently around 21, 22 degrees. Sunshine is with us. There is some cloud cover overhead. So it will be down to Niklas Casarino and Gabriel Hoffmann to control the pace for the 2x2 rolling start formation. The Rotax racing action set to get underway on the fantastic Sunday morning sunshine here in Germany. Revs rise, they go into the tram lines, and it is a clean start. We're off and away in racing as they head down towards the first corner. And it looks like Tom Heger trying to get up the inside into second position, as it looks like there has been a massive change as both the front runners have ended up, and we've had two carts go wide off of turn number 3. And one of them is Gabriel Hoffmann, who's dropped down to 11th position as the field now starts making its way through the infield. And leading the way is the number 11 of Maximilian Pilch, as now Niklas Casarino is having to battle away with Kenyon Washington in the number 14. And that is for third on the road as they come through the last chicane for the first time on lap number 1. And it is nearly 3 abreast going into the penultimate right-hander here at the circuit, as the top 4 really starting to break away as we go to complete lap number 1. Maximilian Pilch leads, the 55 of Maxim Becker now in second, ahead of Niklas Casarino, as the number 88 of Tom Heger leads everyone from around 5th down to the back of the field, and it is quite competitive. As there is a move coming from Matthias Schulte, who's trying to go up the inside of Noah Janssen into turn number 5. Can't make the move through for 6th position, as someone goes very, very wide going off of the track and drops to the back of the order. And that looks to be Christos Malakos in the 27, but the top 3 not really separated much at the moment. It's Niklas Casarino trying to catch Maximilian Pilch in first place, and just behind is Maxim Becker. And they have dropped Kenyon Washington in 4th place by a considerable margin, but it is a slipstream war between the top 3. But still at the moment, the top 3 covered by just under 0.2 of a second. It is 2 abreast, a little bit further down between the number 50 of Matthias Schulte, as now Maxim Becker trying to go up the inside of Maximilian Pilch heading into turn 5. But still, it is a stalemate between the top 3. 6 minutes and 37 seconds plus an additional lap still remaining. This first of 2 races, as Casarino very, very close to the rear bumper of Maxim Becker in the 55. So Maximilian Pilch trying to get a getaway. But Nicolas Casarino looks to be catching again on the back bumper of Maxim Becker as they come through the final right-hander. And again, the second place driver goes defensive, but goes up the inside to take the lead. Nicolas Casarino trying to go through in the process and goes up the inside of Maximilian Pilch to take second position, using the momentum that he had as a result of following Maxim Becker going through the start-finish line. So running order with 5 minutes and 38 seconds plus an additional lap to go. Maxim Becker now leads ahead of Maximilian Pilch. Nicolas Casarino rounds out the top three. Kenyon Washington up into fourth and has Tom Reger in the 88 trying to close down for fifth position as there's a move. I think there was Gabriel Hoffmann up the inside of Noah Janssen for sixth position through one of the chicanes. Alexander Klugel down in eighth position ahead of Matthias Schulte with Ole Glan in the 18 rounding out the top 10 with Christos Malakos and Leopold Jouch rounding out the 12 drivers that are still competing around the circuit. As this time, Maximilian Pilch trying to go up the inside of Nicolas Casarino for the lead as Alexander Klugel, Tom Reger goes up the inside of Kenyon Washington for fourth position. So Casarino now down into third, goes to the left, then goes to the right-hand side of Maximilian Pilch, heading into turn 5. So the top three still trying to eke out their strategies, as we have had one driver retire. Looks like Leopold Jouch, unfortunately, is out of the race as the top three really concertinaing at the front of the field as they go through the final chicane. As Maxim Becker goes a bit sideways coming into the approach and nearly loses the lead, but goes ultra defensive into the penultimate right-hander. But what that has enabled both Tom Reger and Kenyon Washington to do is to close up, but the top three still not giving up as Casarino up the inside of Maximilian Pilch coming out of the final corner and now tries to make the move, but at the moment that means that Tom Reger now has capitalised and has got past the number 12 for third place, and now is going towards the inside of Maximilian Pilch for the very next corner and is going to try and sweep up the inside and take second. And Kenyon Washington now will follow teammate Nicolas Casarino, who started on pole position, now down into fourth place, as the 31 of Noah Janssen and the 95 of Gabriel Hoffmann still battling away over what is sixth position. And then Alexander Klugel has Matthias Schulte for company for eighth place. As now Casarino trying to get past Tom Reger. Reger goes defensive. But now the top two come out of the final corner. So Pilch trying to lead and hold off Tom Reger, but Reger shoots up the inside. Through into the right-hand kink just after the start-finish line. So just over 2 3/4 minutes plus an additional lap still to go. As Pilch goes defensive on Casarino for third place. Casarino gets a good run coming out of the technical part there and goes up the inside of the number 11 through into the chicane to take third place. As Alexander Klugel loses out of position at the very same point on the circuit. But now just keep an eye, as we've had a black and white warning flag shown to the number 11 of Maximilian Pilch. And now the top 7 drivers will pretty much be on the same part of the start-finish straight as we go across the line to complete lap number 7. So Reger leads, Becker in second, Casarino, Pilch, Washington, Hoffmann, Janssen. Klugel and Schulte now round out the top 9 positions. Ole Glan still quite a bit further back in 10th position, as Christos Malakos comes through to round out the 11 strong that are still running. with an unfortunate retirement for Leopold Joux on lap number 3. But now it seems that Tom Reger has managed to get a breakaway, and in the meantime Nicolas Casarino is up into 2nd position, followed by Maxime Becker in 3rd place. As Kenyon Washington is having to battle away with Gabriel Hoffmann, who now has Noah Janssen in the 31 just behind. They come through the final corner. Just over 60 seconds to go, plus an additional lap in the first of these 2 races. As Kenyon Washington loses out 2 positions to both Gabriel Hoffmann in the 95 and Noah Janssen in the 31. And the battle for 3rd quite clearly on as round towards the outside. Oh my goodness, Hoffmann trying to go on the inside. It's nearly 3 abreast going into that corner, but Hoffmann decides to slot back in. And that was very, very close indeed. Oh no, we've had a spin coming out of the chicane. Kenyon Washington, I think, has been compromised. No, he hasn't. That is Gabriel Hoffmann that's just had the been involved in the incident, having been unsighted as Maxime Becker, unfortunately, came out of the chicane, hit the curbs, and it spat the back end out to the left-hand side. So this time around, depending on how quickly the drivers get across the start-finish line, we could be on the last lap of the race. It's getting very close here, coming out of the final corner. Last lap board has been shown. So Tom Reger now has Nicolas Casarino trying to chase him down for the lead. Casarino in the process sets the fastest lap, a 59.130. Pilch in 3rd place. Washington now up into 4th. Noah Janssen up into 5th. So in through to the infield section, down towards the far part of the circuit, as Casarino has an incredible amount of pace, trying to close on Tom Reger in the 88. So they now head into the chicane on the back part of the circuit for the final time. Reger trying to defend against Casarino. Pilch in 3rd place. Washington, Janssen, that's the top 5. And now Casarino has a really good opportunity to come out of the final corner with a great turn of momentum and nearly comes out towards the right-hand side. But the checkered flag will wave, and it will be a very close finish indeed. Tom Reger takes the win by 80 thousandths of a second ahead of Nicolas Casarino. Maximilian Pilch takes 3rd ahead of Kenyon Washington. Noah Janssen in 5th position ahead of Gabriel Hoffmann. Alexander Klüger takes 7th place ahead of Matthias Schulte. Maxime Becker and Ole Glan round out the top 10 positions. As round the final corner comes Christos Malakos in the 27 to be the 11th and last classified finisher, with unfortunately a retirement from Leopold Joux. But Tom Reger wins from Nicolas Casarino by literally 80 thousandths of a second here in the first Micromax race here in Muelsen.